A simple pair of red shoes. Innocent, stylish, elegant. But what if I told you? Behind this symbol hides one of the darkest secrets of the elite? From Hollywood stars to politicians and even popes, the red shoes appear again and again. Some say it's just fashion. Others claim it's the mark of secret societies and proof of rituals too disturbing to imagine. What's the real truth behind the Red Shoe Society? Tonight, we step into the shadows. The mystery of the red shoes stretches back through centuries, hidden in history books and rituals most people have long forgotten. In the ancient world, colors were not just fashion choices, they were symbols of power, wealth, and even life itself. Red was considered the most dangerous and sacred color. It represented blood, fire, war, and sacrifice. To wear red meant to declare that you were above the ordinary. In Rome, emperors and generals wore red shoes during ceremonies. To them, walking in red meant walking in dominance, a sign that their authority extended not only over the people but over life and death itself. It was a silent but powerful message. Only the chosen may walk in red. Later, in the Middle Ages, red shoes became the privilege of kings and noble families. They were so expensive to produce, dyed with rare pigments like cochineal and vermilion, that only the richest bloodlines could afford them. But many believe there was something more than vanity at play. Some historians suggest that the elites wore red shoes as a symbol of their divine right to rule, a subtle reminder that their power was granted not by men, but by forces beyond. The Catholic Church soon absorbed this symbolism. For centuries, popes wore red shoes, claiming the color represented the blood of Christ and the sacrifice of martyrs. But others whisper another interpretation, that these shoes were also a badge of hierarchy, marking those who had been initiated into deeper, more secret knowledge of the Church. The crimson shoes walked between faith and ritual, and between holy sacrifice and something far darker. In folklore, red shoes often appear with disturbing undertones. In old European tales, red shoes were linked to vanity, punishment, and even death. One of the most chilling stories, written by Hans Christian Andersen, tells of a girl cursed by a pair of red shoes that forced her to dance endlessly, until she begged for her feet to be cut off. Was this just a fairy tale? Or an encoded warning about the dangers tied to this symbol? And then comes the most unsettling layer: secret societies. Documents and testimonies from whistleblowers hint that in certain occult circles, red shoes are used as a marker of initiation, a sign that the wearer has crossed from innocence into knowledge, from purity into corruption. In these stories, red is not just the color of power, but the color of blood spilled during rituals too shocking for the public to imagine. So when we look at a simple pair of red shoes today, we are left with a chilling question. Are they just fashion? Or a signal that the wearer belongs to a world of hidden oaths, ancient sacrifices, and forbidden power? If the story of red shoes begins in religion and royalty, it finds its most disturbing rebirth in Hollywood. In 1939, The Wizard of Oz introduced Dorothy's ruby red slippers. To the audience, they were magical, innocent, a symbol of hope. But some researchers believe this was no coincidence. They claim the shoes represent the initiation of Dorothy into a new world, a world of hidden knowledge, illusion, and control. In other words, Hollywood's first coded ritual, hidden in plain sight. Since then, the image of red shoes has returned again and again in films, music videos, and photo shoots. Celebrities from Madonna to Lady Gaga, from Beyoncé to Billie Eilish, have all been photographed wearing bright red shoes, often in highly symbolic settings. Is it simply fashion? Or is it a mark of allegiance to something greater and darker? One unsettling connection comes from Stanley Kubrick's last film, Eyes Wide Shut. The movie, infamous for its secret society rituals, is filled with symbols of power and submission. And yes, Hidden among them, the color red appears again in shoes, in robes, in shadows. Kubrick himself died mysteriously just days after completing the film. Coincidence? Or punishment for revealing too much? But perhaps the strangest example comes not from film but from real life. At elite parties and award shows, photographs sometimes emerge showing politicians and celebrities with blood-red shoes. The images circulate online, sparking speculation. Are these shoes a hidden uniform? A silent signal understood only by those in the circle? For the public, red shoes mean glamour. For the initiated, they mean something else entirely. A passage, a contract, a ritual. And the question is, why do so many of the world's most powerful figures choose this exact symbol over and over again? If Hollywood dresses the stage, politics controls the world behind the curtain. And here too, the red shoes appear. Throughout history, symbols have been the silent language of power. In the courts of Europe, noblemen and monarchs displayed red footwear as a sign of dominance. It was subtle but unmistakable. The red marked those chosen to rule. Fast forward to modern times. Across political gatherings, diplomatic events, and even the halls of Washington, sharp-eyed observers began to notice a strange detail. Leaders, advisors, even presidents' families, photographed with striking red shoes. At first it looks like coincidence, but when the same symbol repeats across decades, across continents, the question becomes impossible to ignore. One infamous example came from leaked photographs showing members of powerful political circles wearing bright red shoes during private events. The images went viral online and speculation exploded. Were these leaders flaunting their connection to hidden societies? Was it a uniform, a code, a mark of loyalty? Some researchers point back to the chilling theories tied to scandals like Pizzagate and whispers of elite trafficking networks. In these stories, the red shoe is not just a fashion choice. It is a signal, a mark of involvement or at least of silence. And it doesn't stop in the West. In Europe, in Russia, in Asia, the same images appear. Men and women in positions of power, standing confidently before cameras, their feet clad in crimson. They know the world will see, and yet they wear them anyway. Why? Because the greatest secrets are often hidden in plain sight. The red shoes in this context are more than clothing. They are a badge of rank. And perhaps even a pledge of blood. If Hollywood uses red shoes to seduce the eye, politics uses them to dominate the mind. A symbol that says, I belong to the circle. I follow the code. I serve the hidden order. Innocence, power, and then corruption. The red shoes have traveled from empires to churches, from fairy tales to Hollywood. But in the last decades, the symbol has been dragged into some of the darkest theories ever whispered online. One of the most disturbing is tied to leaked photos and rumors around the political elite. Certain images circulated of leaders, celebrities, even royals, posing with bright red shoes, sometimes in private, sometimes at official events. On their own, they could be brushed off as fashion. But conspiracy researchers saw a deeper connection. They linked it to ritual practices, stories so disturbing that many refuse to believe them. In these theories, red shoes represent blood, not metaphorical but literal. Some even claim they are crafted from the skin of victims, a horrifying allegation rooted in medieval tales of occult rituals. During the chaos of scandals like Pizzagate and the WikiLeaks email leaks, investigators highlighted strange references to shoes, children, and sacrifices. To mainstream media, it was dismissed as madness. To conspiracy theorists, it was confirmation. And then came the viral photo. A powerful figure caught at a private party, wearing bright red shoes in a context that felt anything but casual. The image raced across forums and social media, sparking debates that rage even today. Was it proof of a hidden society flaunting its codes? Or just another coincidence magnified by paranoia? But here lies the danger. If the red shoes truly are a badge of the elite's darkest secrets, then we are looking not at a fashion trend, but at a ritual symbol paraded in front of the entire world. The red shoe symbol did not disappear into history books. Instead, it evolved. It became fashion, entertainment, and a hidden code. In modern music videos, red shoes appear in unexpected moments, worn by artists who suddenly rise to stardom. In movies, directors slip the symbol into the frame even when it makes no sense for the story. Coincidence? Or a silent signature? High-fashion brands turn the red shoe into a luxury item, sold for thousands of dollars. But what if it's not just fashion? What if it's a way for the elite to flaunt their membership without ever saying a word? Even in political protests, in viral photos, and on social media campaigns, the red shoe keeps reappearing. Always subtle, always unexplained. It seems that every generation is taught to notice it but never to question it. And so the symbol survives not as a trend, but as a timeless reminder. Power hides in plain sight. So, why the red shoes? Some researchers claim they symbolize sacrifice, a reminder of blood spilled to gain power. Others whisper about ancient rituals, where red shoes were worn only by those initiated into the deepest layers of secret societies. In politics, in Hollywood, in religion. The pattern repeats. The shoes are not fashion. They are code, a message, a sign of loyalty to something beyond the public eye. And here is the darkest part. Those who wear them may not just be showing off power. They may be declaring ownership. Ownership over people, over lives, over destiny itself. Everywhere we look, the red shoes appear quiet, ignored, dismissed. But for those who know the language of symbols, it's a scream. So next time you see them on a stage, in a magazine, or on the feet of someone powerful, remember, in the world of hidden orders, nothing is accidental. The red shoes. From emperors and popes, to Hollywood stars and secret societies. The symbol is everywhere. But the question is, are these just coincidences? Or the hidden mark of an ancient pact still alive today? One thing is certain, the shoes may be red, but the trail they leave behind is darker than blood. Stay awake. Stay questioning. This was the hidden order. And if you're still here watching, maybe you've already taken your first step into the circle.